So number one is travel. Now, if you're a seasonal or daily commuter, do check with your employers to see whether they have a travel scheme, which is essentially them giving you a loan to allow you to pay for an annual travel card, and they'll take monthly installments from your salary until it's all paid off. If your company doesn't happen to have this scheme, then no worries. There is an organisation called the Commuters Club, and they offer almost an identical travel scheme. However, it comes at a small cost. Small is a relative term. However, it does work out cheaper than you paying for 12 monthly travel cards by going through them. If you're a UK resident of 18 and under, then life is almost blissful for you, because travel on the train and tram is FREE free. Although if you do decide that you need to use the underground, which is more than likely, there will be a cost incurred, but this can be offset by you purchasing a 16 to 25 rail card, and this gives you a third off travel, and this is daily travel as well as seasonal travel within London and travelling outside of London and into London also. At this present day it costs £30, and this does increase as the years go on. This allows you to get a third off your fare off peak, which is after 10 o'clock. And that could be for standard tickets, and that could be for first class tickets if you're feeling flat. Yeah. Now, if you purchase online, it is cheaper. If you purchase for 3 years altogether, it is also further discounted. At this moment in time, Tesco's Club Card Boost, I'll put all of the links down below, are offering this Railcard, a year's Railcard, for £15, but this is £15 of club card vouchers. If you do decide to go ahead and get yourself the 16 to 25-year-old rail card, make sure you get this discount applied to your Oyster, and you can do that at any London Underground ticket desk. And this makes certain that as you're travelling around London doing pay-as-you-go, you also have the concessional rate applied to your Oyster. If you know someone that has a gold travel card, so an annual rail card, they can buy you a 16 to 25 rail card for £10. So there are ways of getting around paying the full cost up front at the ticket desk. If you are a I have a day off work midweek peak time traveller, I would strongly suggest that you avoid Zone 1 on the Underground, because it is the most expensive zone in London, and that's even if you are going through as well as getting off at Zone 1. If you use the bus, that's perfectly fine. However, if you're going to use the Underground, it will cost you a little bit more. That's my tip of the day. When it comes to travelling out of London or coming in from out of London, then there are a whole host of ways that you can save money. One is to plan. If you, for example, I go to Manchester to see my friends sometimes, and I will try and buy my ticket at least 2 months or 6 weeks in advance, and it would be cheaper than me trying to buy it on the day. Sometimes Virgin have flash sales. Again, I'm going to use the Manchester example, and I can get to Manchester for £12.99. Can I get an amen? Okay, right then. So look out for those. And sometimes they are during the summer holidays and in the seasons that you would least expect it. Also, you can use, if you've got the 16 to 25-year-old rail card, you can use that for additional discount. Lastly, on travel, know your rights. If your train has been delayed for 30 minutes or over, you can claim back. Oh my goodness, that sounds like an advert. But you really can claim back. And originally when I heard this, I thought, gosh, it's going to be such a long process, it's going to be a battle, they won't want to give me my money back. But it is simple. Simply go online, you scan in your card, put a couple of details down, and then ching chang voila, your check comes through the post, and you can use that on your next purchase of when you're travelling. So yeah, kudos to Thames Link, or previously when I actually did that, it was First Capital Connect, for good customer service. Number 2, rent and short-term accommodation, which is such a topical issue within London at the moment because of the financial burden associated. There are ways to offset or overcome or get around this, but you do have to be flexible. One of the ways is to be a property guardian. This terminology has come around from landlords that are seeking out long-term tenants, and within that period they might have a void. And that's when you come in as a property guardian, as essentially an interim tenant who will stay and look after the place at a marginal fee. Now, there are companies that broker this relationship or this contract between the landlord and yourself, and one of which is called ... and they're based in East London. They do work around, they do have a real social responsibility for the area, and they require you to invest at least 16 hours per month to the community that you reside in, which will be Tower Hamlets. The cost involved can range from anywhere between £35 to £75 per week, which is an absolute bargain to be living in London, and East London for that, Zone 2, mind you. Another is live-in guardians, and on the latter end of the price Richter scale compared to ... at £75 per week. From the images, the website and the general marketing, along with being in central London, Zone 1, that kind of reflects the price at £75 per week. They show you your cost savings and also the definition of a guardian. You will need to be over 21 years old, employed full-time or mature student, reliable, dependable, not currently bankrupt or in bankruptcy proceedings, have access to an email address, and have a mobile phone. They also tell you what you need for the application. They ask a little bit about you, and what I find quite great is the tick boxes for the different areas you would like to live in, along with the budget range that you would like to live within. So in general, it seems like quite a straightforward application. A similar organisation, Camelot, they have a portfolio of properties located around the UK, which is probably why their rooms start from £35 per week, which kind of gives me the impression that London accommodation will be in excess of £75 if we're going to base it on the previous two companies. If we have a look at East London, for example, and see what the going rate is there, £102 per week. So it's pretty clear instantly at what your costs will be. Also the contract type. They give you images too. I strongly suggest you go on to how it works, scroll down to the bottom and watch the video. This lays out their expectations of you. Their rules are very strict and stringent. For example, you're only allowed to have 2 visitors at one time in your house. So make sure that this is something that you can commit to. Which brings me on to the Dolphin Square Foundation, and they're an organisation, a charitable organisation that have approximately £80 million within their trust, and their aim is to deliver 1,000 affordable homes within London by 2020. Currently, they have a block of apartments of studio flats, 2-bedroom apartments and 1-bedroom apartments within Westminster, and as they launched in September 2013, it is quite a new initiative which was snapped up quite quickly, so there are only a few positions available. I'm making my assumption, as you can still make an application online. You have to have worked or lived within Westminster for at least 12 months and earning under 66k. And that means if 2 people are living in a 2-bedroom house, the household income needs to be under 66k, and this will be on a 3-year rolling contract. You get good space, you get a good environment, you have an excellent landlord, and they're really embracing the times that we're living in, where it is costly to buy a house within London and it's also costly to rent. And that is what that charitable trust is all about, helping people get by within London at a good standard. If we quickly have a look at the cost of these apartments, you can see that a studio flat goes from £190 a week, and on face value this can seem quite high. However, we have a look at the the going rate of rooms or apartments within Westminster. You can already get a picture instantly of how much it costs. If we go onto the lowest pricing and scroll down, first you're met with £58. No, it's not a deal, it's for a car parking space. If you keep going down, there'll be one for £185 per week, but this is a room within a 26-room occupied house. So still better to have the £190 for your own space. My reference to short-term accommodation was about hotels and B&Bs within London, because it does rack up to quite a bit of a cost. And that's even with using late rooms, lastminute.com, Groupon, Secret Escapes, KPG deals, Voucher. It's still a lot if you're going to include it in a whole, get yourself some breakfast, your travel, sightseeing around London. It really does add up. So it would be either the high cost or go somewhere on the outskirts of London. And if what you're doing is in central London, why would you want to travel all the way out there? Okay, so I've discovered a website called Airbnb. Discovered, like it's like I found it myself. Like, I know a lot of people already know about it, so it's not like a major discovery that I'm bringing to YouTube, but it is amazing. It is so good. Probably help if I told you what it is. Essentially, it's a massive international website with a library of different rooms put up by people like yourself or myself who have a spare bedroom or attic that they're willing to rent out for a short-term period. Similar to eBay and Amazon, sellers can have ratings, or landlords can have ratings. There are images on there, you can leave reviews. It's just a really good website if A, you're a person with a spare room and you want to make a bit of money, or 2, you're traveling about and you don't want to have that hefty cost of staying in a hotel. So yeah. My final tip is more as a direction, and that is a direction to a website called Money Saving Expert, and it's run by a man called Martin, who is absolutely amazing. I am a bargain hunter. Anyone that knows me outside of the natural hair community, I love myself a bargain. I don't purchase for the sake of purchasing, but if I find something, I'll be like, I bet you I can find that for cheaper. He sends out, if you sign up, you can get a newsletter, and they're just all sorts of things, from purchasing a house to insurance to clothing to sales to how to save, all different avenues of tips or saving tips. I will say that the website isn't exactly intuitive. There's, I feel, an overload of information and text, and it isn't broken down in a very nice way. However, if you can look past that, you can find some really, really useful information on there. I would like to do another video similar like to this about eating and drinking in London, because there are ways of socially enjoying London without the social cost of London. But for now, see you guys. Bye.